Jonathan, did you have enough time to recover from the highs of making it to the semi-final and that too in such a close game, and then just the euphoria and then very little break in between? Did you, get enough time to recover?
It's obviously not ideal playing the last group game and then playing the first semi-final, only having a day in between as well, not ready to train. And but that's not a reason or an excuse for... Shall we start that again, please? Start again. Right? Okay. Yeah, obviously playing the last group game and then playing the first semi-final isn't ideal, and travel yesterday and getting here and not really having a day off, if you like. But we knew the schedule, so it's not an excuse as such. So when you go on in World Cups or tournaments, you can't have everything your own way, and you've got to fight and play against the odds, which you've done at times, and very proud of that. But there's not a reason why we didn't win today.
Just saw that clip on Instagram where.
Sorry?
We just saw the clip on Instagram, your bus journey, flight journey. The boys were still soaking it in. You, having watched them from close corners, can you describe how it must have felt for them to make the semi-finals?
Well, yeah, I think obviously we only got back to the hotel at 3 o'clock, and then we had to leave at 8 o'clock the 5 hours later, so we didn't get much sleep. So the guys are obviously very tired, and a lot to process, really, emotionally, physically. So all new territory for the guys, and it all plays its part, I suppose, in a way. But we outplayed today, and I'm sure the guys hopefully learn from this experience. I think we've obviously gotten one better than the previous 50-over World Cup in November, and it's just about taking it step by step, and hopefully we learn from today, the batters certainly, what it takes to play international cricket and play against a bowling side like South Africa on a pitch that's perhaps not conducive to high-scoring runs, and finding ways of winning games. And we've found ways of winning games. We just couldn't find a way today.
Yeah, actually, just I wanted to ask you, what actually went wrong after taking batting first? Because this port of Spain has become port of suicide for you.
Sorry, I can't hear what you're saying.
Actually, what went wrong after winning the toss and taking batting first?
Yeah.
Because port of Spain became port of suicide for the batting of Afghanistan, because they came all the way with good performance in the semi-final. So the pitch was taking wrong, or something went wrong in this one?
Well, I just think South Africa bowled pretty well, and they knew how to bowl in the conditions once they saw how the pitch was behaving. And I just think as batters, we haven't fired really. The middle order hasn't fired enough this World Cup. We've perhaps been a bit too reliant on Gurbaz and Ibrahim to get runs. Nobody else has got runs. And we need to find a reason for that. We need to get more batters in who are going to score runs and be more consistent like the openers have been and given us a chance in games. So that's the project for going forward. Certainly in all formats as well, 50 over white ball cricket as well, getting middle order batters and top order batters to like we have at the openers with Ibrahim and Gurbaz. So that's the focus for now. And what I take away from this World Cup obviously is too reliant on the openers maybe.
Jonathan, commiserations first of all. Obviously not the kind of ending to a wonderful World Cup so far. I assume it's a sad dressing room out there right now. But do you think the players realize that they have already defied expectations in this World Cup, that they have already overachieved? And how long do you think it would take for them to let this just sink in and go home with their heads held high?
I think whenever you lose a game like this, it's always going to hurt, and it should hurt, because we put so much into it. There's so many sacrifices made by the players, coaching staff, management, officials, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, obviously it hurts at the moment. We arrived at the ground in high spirits, ready to take on a strong South African side and make sure we gave a good account of ourselves. And I feel like we haven't done that today, so that's the most disappointing thing. And I'm very proud of the guys. You know, this one performance doesn't necessarily define the tournament, but it also gives us an indication of where we need to work on and what we need to get better at if we're going to be competitive more consistently, and who we can rely on is certainly with the bat, and who's going to get us over the line, certainly if we have to chase as well.
So Jonathan, do you think you made a mistake in assessing the wicket? In the hindsight, it would have been better to bowl fast?
No.
Jonathan, you just spoke about, yes, you got to the semi-final, you're taking one step at a time. Like you played so well in the 50-over World Cup, and you're taking the next step by getting to the semi-final. So, I know it wouldn't have sunk in yet, this defeat, but would you look back at this campaign and say, we've ticked that off, we're in the knockouts, we made it to the knockouts once, so we can do it again, and just build with that confidence?
I think maybe in a couple of weeks' time when everything's sunk in and your emotions aren't in it, I think once you're in it and part of a World Cup and you've been here for over 5 weeks preparing for a night like tonight, I think it's sort of hard to think like that, but I'm sure we will in a couple of days or a week or so. So it's important that a match like this doesn't overshadow all the good matches we had that got us to this situation or this position. But it's just nice if we can just find other ways with the bat of winning. That's what I take, and that's what I'll be working on, from tomorrow onwards.
I guess you can't take too much away from a match like that, but just this...
Sorry.
You can't take too much away from a match like that, but just the spirit of the side. I mean, I saw during the innings break, Rashid Khan was really keen on getting out there, and the umpires were holding you guys off, waiting for the umpires to come out. Just little signs like that do you take from... And what was happening out there when you guys were...
Normally what's happened is because teams have gone over with the reviews and over time, that eats into the dinner break. But because we were so short, we had the proper 20 minutes, which felt like half an hour. Because normally we've only had about 10 minutes because people have gone over, and then that's only a 10-minute break. So we thought we obviously naturally, instinctively, we've played so many games, it's been quite short. So that's why we were there about 5 minutes, fell 5 minutes early. So, but anyway, so that's okay. And I think, we had our chance. If we had reviewed Markram, there would have been 6 for 2, different game. If we'd got 120 and there was 6 for 2, completely different game on that pitch. So they played well, and we obviously didn't play too well either.
Jonathan, there have been some very interesting pitches all through this World Cup. There have been some interesting pitches all through this World Cup. This one had both uneven bounce and sideways seam movement, which, and I'm not making it sound like an excuse or anything. Just from a neutral point of view, what do you think of such a pitch for T20 games, especially a knockout, which is like the showpiece for a World Cup, and where batters are just fighting for survival in a T20 game?
I don't want to get myself into trouble, but obviously, and I don't want to come across as in, bitter or sour grapes, but that's not the pitch that you want to have a match, a semi-final of a World Cup on, plain and simple. It should be a fair contest. I'm not saying it should be flat completely with no spin and no seam movement, but I'm saying you shouldn't have batters worrying about going forward and the ball flying over their head. You should be confident in their foot movement and being able to hit through the line or use their skills. T20 is about attacking and about scoring runs and taking wickets, not looking to survive. If the opposition bowl well and get to a position where they bowl very, very well and it's through skill, then that's fine to them, and then it's about adapting to that. But once the ball starts misbehaving and rolling, and if we had bowled as straight as South Africa had, I think you would have seen a very, very interesting second half as well. So South Africa bowled well, used the conditions, and showed our boys what it's capable of, but just didn't go away tonight.
Thank you, Jonathan. Can you tell us a few lessons that you learned throughout the tournament? And how can you improve your middle order since you have been struggling for the last couple of years? And we have seen a couple of times in this tournament too. In the last question, what is your message to the people of Afghanistan back home and around the world about the performance Afghanistan have played in this tournament? Thank you.
What have I learned? I think we've learned we can defend. We can defend most totals if we give ourselves enough runs and give our bowlers enough to bowl at. I've learned that we need to adjust more with the bat if there aren't exactly flat wickets. I've learned that we've got some very, very talented players, you know, the fielding I think has been pretty good as well. Our fielding standards have improved immensely. And I think the players realise the hard work that they're putting in is actually starting to show off, but also starting to show up in their matches. And so, yeah, there's a few other things that, you know, I'll be chatting to the players behind closed doors about. Sorry, what was the second part of your question?
No, I mean the middle order batting.
Pardon?
Struggling. Middle order batting is struggling.
Middle order. Yeah, that's what I said. We've got to find batters who can bat in the middle order in T20 cricket. I have an idea of who they are and the players that are going to be doing that. So we'll be working really hard in the next short term to get those players in playing T20 cricket and ODI cricket. And the message is thank you for the support. You know, it's been a great tournament so far, a great ride with the players, and hope that we've inspired you know, young kids to pick up a bat and a ball and play cricket and want to play for their nation, and hopefully that everybody's proud of the side.
Jonathan, commiserations. Just as the tournament is now officially over for you all, can you sum up the impact of Dwayne Bravo on this team?
Dwayne's been immense and a great guy to have around the dressing room. Always calm, rubs off on the bowlers, and always willing to chat to the bowlers and batters as well. Very generous with his time and his passion for the side. And I'd only ever played against Dwayne really before, and I think he's a cracking coach, and you know, I loved working with him. You know, cricket's in good hands if there are people like Dwayne coaching the game and coaching the skills and sharing their experience. You know, I wish him well wherever he goes and coaches next, and you know, I certainly hope our paths cross as soon as possible. He's been brilliant, and it's been great to have him with his professional attitude, and I think that certainly rubbed off on the players, and they've seen what it takes to be at the best and play the amount of cricket that he has. Cheers. Thank you very much.